निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौर कथा धामदाय नगर ग्राम तारिणे नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Again, we welcome all of our YouTube live listeners, our listeners over Facebook Live and over Zoom. We welcome all of you to this day 7 of Sri Navadvipa Mandal Parikrama.
Can we have the slideshow, please? So we start today. Today we'll be covering Ritudvipa and Jahnudvipa. Ritudvipa signifies this devotional service of Archanam, and Jahnudvipa, the devotional service of Vandanam. So total distance that we'll cover today is 11 kilometers. Next slide, please. In Kalasudha, yesterday, after taking darshan of the most beautiful Sri Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, this is Kalasudha, which was where we were yesterday, and even right now we are in Kalasudha, because then we will now start walking. Next slide, please. We saw after taking darshan of the most beautiful Sri Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, who was personally carved and was served by Vishnu Priya Devi. We stay overnight at a place called Mahisura, which is near Kalasudha. So this is Mahisura today. We will travel from Mahisura, and after traveling from Mahisura through Ritudvipa and Jahnudvipa, we will then end by staying at a village called Magnapur. Staying overnight, then again next day morning we start.
So let us offer our obeisances here at this starting point of Mahishwara, that we are about to start our parikrama, walking and chanting the names of Lord Gauranga and Lord Nityananda, meditating. Can we have the next slide, please? Meditating on this beautiful, moon-like face of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and constantly chanting Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga Nityananda, and chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We continue our journey while we are walking, and we arrive at this most beautiful place at Kalasudha itself. We arrive at this place called as Samudragarh.
Next slide, please. So Lord Nityananda, he told to Srila Jiva Goswami that, look here, this is Samudragarh. This is both Dwarkapuri and Ganga Sagar, which are directly present in Samudragarh. Next slide, please. Actually, this is a place of a king called Samudrasena. Samudrasena, he was a king who was a great devotee of the Lord. And Bhima had come here on behalf of the Pandavas when Yudhishthir Maharaj was ruling. Bhima came here to collect taxes and to make this king, to conquer this kingdom. So when Bhima came here, he surrounded Samudragarh, and this king of Samudragarh, which is Samudrasena, he knew that for Pandavas, Krishna is the only resort. And this Samudrasena, he wanted to have darshan of Lord Krishna. And not just Lord Krishna, he wanted to have darshan of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who he had heard about, that this Navadvipa Samudragarh is in one of the 9 islands. And this is in Ritudvipa. And this is where Krishna appeared as Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So he came up with a plan. He said, if I can get Bhima to to show some fear and cry out. He will definitely cry out to Krishna. And Krishna always appears when his devotees cry out in helpless surrender to him. So he said, being merciful to his devotees, he'll be kind and he'll come to his servants' country, this Navadvipa, this Samudragarh. And then I'll be able to see the blackish form of Krishna with my own eyes. Thinking like this, he gathered his soldiers, his elephants, all of his soldiers, foot soldiers. They went to battle and he began showering arrows, like firing a shower of arrows. And in great danger, Bhima felt very oppressed. This picture is Samudrasena firing arrows on Bhima, thinking of Krishna. Samudrasena was also thinking of Krishna. And then when Bhima became fearful because of this shower of arrows, he called Krishna in his mind. And then hearing the call of Krishna in helpless surrender, of Bhima, in helpless surrender, Krishna appeared on this battlefield. And next slide, please. Now, no one could see, when Krishna appeared, no one could see the form of Krishna except the king Samudrasena, because although Krishna appeared in reciprocation to the call of Bhima, but he actually came to fulfill the desire of Samudrasena. This complexion of this youthful form of Krishna was like the color of a new cloud. Around his neck, there was a garland. And his head, there was a crown which sparkled. His beautiful, wonderful form, it was covered with yellow garments, as we can see here. And his limbs had many wonderful ornaments. Seeing that form, the king just fainted in ecstasy. And then he somehow gained control. And he revealed his desire. Oh, Krishna, you are the Lord of the universe. You are the deliverer of the fallen. I am so fallen. Still you have appeared here. You have appeared because I am fallen. Everyone sings the glories of your pastimes. And therefore, I wanted to see your glories. But my vow is I want to see your form as Krishna, but I also want to see that you should appear in Navadvipa. And now that you have appeared in Navadvipa, I will never leave Navadvipa. You have so mercifully upheld my vow by appearing in the form of Krishna, but actually my desire goes even further. If I may submit my desire, please give me darshan of the wonderful Gauranga form before my very eyes. And all of this was happening when Samudrasena was just praying to Krishna. No one could see Krishna. Even Bhima could not see Krishna. Only Samudrasena. And as he looked on, next slide, please. The king, he was shown the beautiful pastimes of Radha Krishna. Just like in the forest of Kumudvan, Krishna and his friends, they performed different activities of going to herd the cows. So you can see this picture above. He was shown the pastime of Krishna and Balaram with his cowherd boys going to herd the cows. And then in an instant, that Leela disappeared. And he saw Gauranga with his devotees in a huge kirtan. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki, Shri Panchatattva Bhagavan ki, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He was dancing and singing. His brilliant golden complexion, it was so enchanting. While he was dancing, his eyes rolled as if in intoxication. And his mind was agitated, not with lust, not with pride or greed or anger, but with pure love for Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. When King Samudrasena saw this, he was so grateful. He considered his great fortune that he is given this darshan. and he offered prayers at the lotus feet of the Lord. And in a few minutes, all of this just vanished. Deprived of this, the king was just surprised. He began to weep. And as he was weeping, Bhima was seeing all these transformations that are happening in the king. He could not see Krishna, he could not see Gauranga, he could only see the king, sometimes praying, sometimes crying, sometimes he felt that certainly Samudra Sen is afraid of me and he's surrendering to me. Look, I called out to Krishna and now Samudra Sen is surrendered to me. And he thought that suddenly this Samudra Sen is afraid of my prowess. And this king, who was completely satisfied, he said, I surrender to you, Bhima. I will pay your taxes, whatever you want. Bhima took his taxes and he went off to other places. Now, that incident, the same exact incident took place in Samudragarh, which is on the edge of Navadvipa. It is said even Lord Brahma cannot know the glories of this place.
Can we have the next slide, please? It is said also, like, remember this place, Samudragarh, is also signifying not just Dwarka. It signifies Dwarka because Krishna himself appeared here. Maharaj Samudra Sen, by his devotion, he called upon Krishna to make his appearance here. And Krishna came running from Dwarka and he came and appeared here. So it is also said that Ganga, residing here, and the ocean personified, came here and begged at Mother Ganges' lotus feet that please, just like you are always drenching Gauranga and Nityananda in the ocean and the shower of your loving, nectar, liquid nectar. So please allow me to also be along with you and serve the lotus feet of Gauranitai. So Mother Ganges, she said, yes, of course, let us together serve Gauranitai. So therefore here at this place, it is said that this place, the Ganga, appears to be like an ocean. That's why it's called as Ganga Sagara. So here Ganga Sagar has manifested and they are showering the rain of mercy of Shri Gauranitai upon all conditioned living entities at this place. So we beg for blessings from Shri Ganga Sagara, from Samudra Sen Maharaj, that just by his devotion, how he called out to Krishna. And Krishna appeared, and Bhima, how he called out to Krishna. Krishna appeared. So when we lovingly call out to Krishna, Krishna can never stay without coming. He always comes and he protects. He gives his darshan to his beloved devotees. So we beg for, Mahaprabhu's mercy, that just like how Mahaprabhu's, the rain is falling on Gauranitai here, that we may also be showered by the rain of mercy coming from Shri Gauranitai. With this prayer, we move on to the next place. Next slide, please.
Next, we come to this beautiful place called Champahati. This place is considered to be non-different than Khadiravan of Braj Dham, where Krishna and Balaram come and take rest. This Champahati is actually the place or home of Dvija Vaninath, who is the brother of Sri Gadadhar Pandit. The Panchatattva, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So Gadadhar, who is the incarnation of Lord Srimati Radharani's effulgence. These presiding deities here. So next slide, please. This is the temple of Dvija Vaninath, of the wonderful deities of Shri Gaura Gadadhar.
Please identify yourself. You can find yourself probably here somewhere trying to go inside this temple to take the darshan of Shri Gaura Gadadhar.
Look at the beautiful forest behind, the wonderful courtyard, and this beautiful temple. We are entering into the temple of Shri Gaura Gadadhar, who were installed. Next slide, please. Shri Gaura Gadadhar Champahati ki jai. So here, I think a couple of days ago, some devotees asked, we don't hear about Gaura Gadadhar deities, only Gaur Nitai deities. Here is the second time we are referring to Sri Sri Gaura Gadadhar deities, very famous in Champahati. They were installed and worshipped by Dvija Vaninath, the brother of Sri Gadadhar Pandit. Gaura Gadadhar. This is Gadadhar Pandit's brother. He's the younger brother. And these same deities, they are 500 years old, over 500 years old deities. In fact, it is said that Champakalata Sakhi comes here daily to pick flowers. Then she strings these garlands from Champaka flowers and offers them to Radha and Krishna. That's why she's called Champakalata. Next slide, please. So Champahati is also famous for many other places, but this is Champakalata Sakhi. All the Sakhis of Krishna, of the 8 Sakhis of Radha and Krishna, one of the Sakhis is Champakalata.
She is standing right next to Lalita Sakhi on Madhava's side. On Madhava's side, when we take darshan of Radha Madhava Ashta Sakhis, Champakalata Sakhi is the one standing right next to Lalita, who is standing right next to Madhava. So
there are these 8 gopis: Lalita, Vishakha, Indulekha, Rangadevi, Sudevi, Suchitra, Champakalata, Tungavidya. So the 7th gopi is Champakalata Sakhi. She comes here. That's why it's called Champahati, and the place of Sri Sri Gaura Gadadhar. There was also a wonderful, famous pastime that took place here, where Srila Jayadev Goswami composed the poem Sri Gita Govinda, and I ask Kalasudha to explain that.
So before going into Jayadev Goswami, let's see the next slide, which is the flowers. These are the Champaka flowers. The ones with the white and yellow, which is on our right-hand side, they are called Champaka flowers. And the ones on the left-hand side, which are golden in color, they are called as Swarna Champaka. So both of these Champakas, they grow in this forest. And that is why this place is called Champahati, because so many flowers grow that this Hati heart means marketplace. So where Champaka flowers are, growing, they pluck these Champaka flowers and they put up a hart, a marketplace where devotees would go and buy these flowers and offer them to their deities. So that's why this place is called Champahati.
So let's offer these in our mind to Sri Sri Radha and Krishna in the mood of the servant of the servant of servant of Champakalata Sakhi, and then smell them.
It's got an intoxicating, transcendental smell.
If you smell them with devotion as the Mahaprasad, you will actually be able to smell the beautiful smell of these Champaka flowers.
So here, can we have the next slide, please? So here, Jayadev Goswami also is said to have resided here at this very place along with his good wife Padmavati Devi. And this is the place where Jayadev Goswami wrote his most famous, composition of songs called as the Gita Govinda. And the song that we sing every day, the Nrsimha prayer, the Tavakara Kamala Vare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam, Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam, Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare. This is part of the Gita Govinda, the Dashavatara Stotra. So one time, Srila Jayadev Goswami, it is said that right here at this place, he was composing a very, very sensitive section of the Gita Govinda, which was describing Sri Krishna's intimate relationship with Srimati Radharani. And he was meditating, he was very deeply meditating on this Leela. And he felt that probably, perhaps, he must have gone too far, because he started thinking that, Krishna also is looking for an opportunity to worship Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. So this thought, he felt that, no, 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 maybe it's not a good idea. Maybe I should not be thinking like this. So keeping that thought aside, he said, okay, let me go for my bath in the Ganga, and then I will come back and again think about this. Then in the meantime, when Jayadev Goswami went to take his bath in the Ganga, it is said that Krishna himself assumed the form of Jayadev Goswami, and he came to this place and he took up a pen and he wrote one particular verse. And when he wrote that particular verse, we'll find out what that verse was. But when he wrote that verse, he was feeling very, Krishna was, as Jayadev Goswami, was very, very happy. And then his wife, Padmavati Devi, came and said, oh, my dear husband, you're back from taking Ganga Snan. Can I give you prasad? And Krishna said, yes, yes, I want some prasad. And as Jayadev Goswami, Krishna as Jayadev Goswami accepted the beautiful offering of love of Padmavati Devi. And then Krishna as Jayadev Goswami left. As soon as Krishna left, the actual Jayadev Goswami came in and he said, okay, Padmavati Devi, I have come home after taking bath. Can you please give me prasadam, my lunch prasadam? And Padmavati Devi was shocked. She said, huh, you just now ate? You want to eat again? And then Jayadev Goswami was shocked. He said, I just now came back from Ganga Snan. How are you saying that I came before? Is it? Immediately he thought, was it Krishna himself who had come? And then he went immediately to where he was writing and he saw the fresh writing of Krishna. And what was that writing? And what was the Leela that Jayadev Goswami was meditating on, which was written directly by Krishna himself? Let us see that in the next slide, please. This is what Krishna himself wrote. Dehi pada pallavam udaram. That Krishna is saying, Dehi means please give. Pada pallavam means lotus feet. Udaram means, oh, most compassionate Radharani. That Krishna is asking for the service of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. And this particular phrase was written by Krishna himself, confirming the meditation of Jayadev Goswami that, yes, Krishna is also looking to serve the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. So with this special blessing at this Champahati, where this beautiful Gita Govinda was written by Srila Jayadev Goswami, and Krishna himself wrote this particular phrase by taking blessings over here, offering our respects to Champakalata Sakhi, to Dvijavaninath, the brother of Sri Gadadhar Pandit, and to Gaura Gadadhar, the presiding deities here. We offer our obeisances to all of them and we continue our journey.
So then, next slide, please. After taking this darshan of the beautiful Shri Shri Gaura Gadadhar at Champahati, now we are going to the next destination, which is Vidyanagar, and this is in Ritudvipa. So far, we were still in Koladvipa. So now we go to Ritudvipa, which signifies Archanam. Archanam means doing arti, worshipping Krishna. And in this, Prithu Maharaj is considered to be the greatest. Next. Now, we are entering Ritudvipa. Jai Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So here, in a book called Shri Navadvipa Bhavataranga, Navadvipa Dham, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he describes that this island of Ritudvipa is very, very enchanting because it has so many forests. This is where all the seasons, Ritu means seasons, all the seasons headed by Vasanta Ritu, spring, they are eternally engaged in the service of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And this land, it relieves all troubles for everyone. So let's transport ourselves in our minds to this land, and it will of Ritudvipa, and it will take away all the troubles. It's the abode of transcendental bliss. Actually, Ritudvipa is same as Radha Kunda in Brajadham. Shri Radha Kunda ki jai. Shri Shama Kunda ki jai. Shri Giriraj Govardhan ki jai. Sometimes during this wild sporting of this Sankirtan at this place, and while singing the glories of Lord Krishna, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, as he's chanting, next slide please, he remembers Krishna's pastimes, but special pastimes of tending cows when he's here, because there's such wonderful weather. Lord Gauranga is dancing, and he remembers the pastimes of the cows. And as he remembers the pastimes of cows in Vrajadham, right here in Ritudvipa, he starts calling out, "Oh Shamali, oh Davali," and then he calls out to all his cowherd boyfriends, Sridama, Subala, Madhumangala, and then he breaks down, cries in great sorrow and separation from all of them. Therefore, this is considered to be the place of separation, the place of Sri Radha Kunda. In the afternoon, Gaura Hari, he would perform kirtan, look at, and he would say, look at Shama Kunda. Next slide, please. This Shama Kunda, it attracts the minds of everyone in the universe. And look here and there are Sakhis, there is groves. He's actually, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is in Ritudvipa, but he's in the afternoon. Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he would become so immersed and absorbed in singing Krishna's glories. And he would satisfy everyone by distributing this prema. In the three worlds, it is said there is no other place equal to Radha Kunda. And Ritudvipa also, in the three worlds, there is no equal to this place where the devotees worship the Lord.
This Radha Kund here in Ritudvipa. So, offering our obeisances to Radha Kund here at Ritudvipa, we say the mantra that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in worshipping Radha Kunda. So please repeat after us. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu.
Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu.
Tasyam Kundam Priyam Tatha.
Tasyam Kundam Priyam Tatha.
Sarva Gopishu Saivaika.
Sarva Gopishu Saivaika.
Vishnur Atyanta Vallabha.
Vishnur Atyanta Vallabha.
This is the mantra that Lord Chaitanya chanted when he was taking a dip at Radha Kund. So, just like how this Kunda is so beloved to Krishna, and similarly the gopis are so beloved to Krishna, and this Radha Kund is extremely beloved to Krishna. This is how Lord Chaitanya is glorifying Radha Kund. So taking blessings of Radha Kund, we move on and we arrive here at this island. At Ritudvipa, we come to this first place called as Vidyanagar. Vidyanagar is the place that Sri Nityananda Rai, he explained to Sri Jiva Goswami about its significance. Lord Nityananda said that at the time of the universal destruction, at the time of the Pralaya, it is said that Navadvipa, which is the eternal Dham, it remains situated in its pure form as an 8-petal lotus. It doesn't get affected by the destruction, by Pralaya. And all the avatars and all the fortunate living entities stay in one part of that lotus at this time, during the time of the destruction. They stay here. And it is said that when Krishna incarnates as the fish, the Matsya avatar that carried the Vedas, they came here actually to this place of Vidyanagar, which is in Ritudvipa. And since the Vedas, which contain all kinds of knowledge, Vidya, they were brought here to this place by Matsya avatar, that is why this place is called as Vidyanagar. So it is also said that this Vidyanagar is the birthplace of Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who is none other than Brihaspati. Brihaspati is the guru of the Devatas. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was born here in this place. He had established a school along with his brother, younger brother. His name is Vidyavachaspati. And but Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he knew that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is about to make his appearance. So before the appearance of Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya left this place, Vidyanagar, and he went to Nilachal Dham. Nilachal Dham is Jagannath Puri. And he thought within his mind that if I am an ardent follower of Lord Chaitanya, then Lord Chaitanya will complete his leelas here in Navadvip, and he will come. He will come to me in Jagannath Puri. And the Lord actually did that. So right after we finish our Navadvip Mandal Parikrama, we will be going to Puri Parikrama, Jagannath Puri Parikrama, where we will see more details about Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his beautiful interactions with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So as you can see here in this picture, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a child, as Nimai Pandit, he used to come to the school of Vidyavachaspati. And it is said that Lord Chaitanya used to use wooden pens to write. So one time Lord Chaitanya took those pens, wooden pens, and he just put them in the ground. He stuck them in the ground. And it is said that it grew up to be these beautiful, magnificent trees. And they are called as the Kalam Vriksha. Kalam means pen, Vriksha means tree. These are the pen trees that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself had, sown here in this particular place called as Vidyanagar. So taking darshan at Vidyanagar, here at Kalam Vriksha, we offer our obeisances so that, the actual import of the revealed scriptures are revealed to all of us in our heart, that we may be able to understand the scriptures and the purpose of the scriptures. So here we move on to the next island. Next slide, please.
And that island is Jahnudvipa, which is Vandanam, which means prayers. Next slide, please. It's said that on the north of Vidyanagar, this beautiful place called Jahnudvipa, and here there is a forest in which Jahnu Rishi, he performed these austerities, and Jahnu Muni actually drank the water of Ganga, and Ganga Devi reappeared from this stage. This particular stage, Jahnu, that's why she's called Jahnavi, one who appears from Jahnu Muni. And then Nityananda Prabhu said that this Jahnudvip is non-different than Bhadrava of Sri Vrindavan Dham. In fact, here, Jahnu Muni, he underwent so many penances, and he received the darshan of the golden form of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai. One time, Jahnu, he was sitting here, he was chanting his Gayatri mantra, and his Achman cup, it fell into Ganga. Then Ganga was brought down from the heavenly planets by King Bhagiratha. If you remember how Ganga Devi came here. And that's why her name, one of the names of Ganga is also Bhagirathi, because King Bhagiratha brought her in order to deliver his ascendants, who were his previous ancestors. But when Jahnu Muni saw that his Achman cup has been swept away by the currents of Bhagirathi, who's coming after the horse of King Bhagiratha, he got very angry. My worship to my worshipable Lord, what is this stream which is taking away the cup? So then he opened his mouth and he drank all of the water, like we are seeing here in this photograph, in one gulp. And then King Bhagiratha thought, King Bhagiratha, he was going on the horse, looking behind. If Bhagirathi is coming, suddenly he looked behind, there's no Bhagirathi. Where's Bhagirathi gone? Where's the Ganges, Mother Ganga gone? So then he saw Jahnu Rishi was there. And he concluded Jahnu Muni must have drunk the entire Ganges water. So this king was completely overwhelmed with anxiety. Then he worshipped Jahnu Muni for several days. Then, being pleased with the king, King Bhagirathi, Jahnu Muni released the Ganges from his body. And because of this incident, the Ganges is known as Jahnavi, the daughter of Jahnu, throughout the world.
Jahnavi Devi ki jai, Srimati Bhagirathi ki jai, Shri Ganga Devi ki jai.
So we pray that just like King Bhagirath, he prayed, he served the Vaishnavas like Jahnu Muni. May we also get the opportunity to serve the Vaishnavas and please them, just like he pleased Jahnu Muni. And also, we would like to take the blessings of Jahnu Muni and Ganga Devi and Jahnavi Mata in this wonderful place.
So today we end our session here. This is where we are going to end our session. We can end this slideshow, please. Thank you very much. And first we will chant japa of one round of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in dedication to this World Holy Name Week. We will chant one round. Right after the chanting, we will sing a very beautiful bhajan which is written by Srila Narottam Das Thakur, which glorifies a Vaishnava. That how today we were talking so much about Mother Ganges, but Mother Ganges purifies someone when we touch them. But a Vaishnava is able to purify someone just when we look at a pure devotee, we get purified. So we request all of you to please stay on so that we can sing the beautiful Vaishnava bhajan. And before that, we can chant one round of the Hare Krishna mantra. So we request all the lines to be opened so that we can chant together.
Ram 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 Ram
Jai Shri Krishna
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Ram 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare लेट हो जाओगे ना राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम राम कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम राम कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 राम हरे राम राम Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Jai
Hare
Shri
Ram
Pandit Kalyan
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Sai Prabhat Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Ram
all very much for
Hare
chanting with
Krishna
us in
Krishna
the
Krishna Krishna
association and chanting.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So now we can sing this song called Eibaro Koruna Koro. Yes, that's the one. Thank you very much. So we can sing this song. It's a very, very beautiful song begging for the mercy of the Vaishnavas, that how the Vaishnava Thakur is so much merciful. So we'll quickly just read the translation. O Vaishnava Gosai, please be merciful to me now. There is no one except you who can purify the fallen souls.
Where does anyone find such a merciful personality by whose mere audience all sins go far away?
After bathing in the waters of the sacred Ganges many times, one becomes purified just by the sight of you. The fallen souls are purified. This is your great power.
The holy name delivers one who has committed an offense to Lord Hari. But if one commits an offense to you, O Vaishnava, there is no means of deliverance.
Your heart, O Vaishnava, is the resting place of Lord Govinda. Lord Govinda says the Vaishnavas are in my heart.
I desire the dust of your holy feet in every birth I may take. Please consider Narottama yours and be kind upon him.
Haribo. So let's sing this song together. Eibaro koruna koro Vaishnava Gosai Patita Pavana Tumari Ke Jaharoni Kate Gele Papa Dure Jai Emono Doyala Prabhu Deva Kotha Pai Bangara Parasha Harile Pashate Baba Darshane Pavitra Korae Tomar Gun Haristhale Aparade Tare Harina Tomar Sthane Aparade Nahi Haritra Tomar Hridaye Sada Govinda Vishra Govinda Godina Mora Vaishnava Para Jyoti Janme Kori Asha Sharane Radhani Narottame Koro Daya Apnar Kori Eibaro Koruna Vaishnava Gosai Vaishnav Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.
So let's open up the lines for any questions or comments on this wonderful Navadvipa Dham Parikrama, on the places that we went today.
Any questions, comments? We can open up all the lines, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
This
Krishna.
is Dehuti Dasi Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji, I have a question about in Jagannath Puri, it's a they say they always sing a Gita Govind in front of Jagannath Ji because Jagannath Ji loved the Gita Govind.
Yes.
So I seen the book from Jaydev Goswami, the Gita Govind. It's kind of a thick book.
Yes.
But do they sing the whole book in front of the Jagannath Ji every day, or there is some part of some section like they sing out
sections. There is sections of the Gita Govinda that they sing in front of Jagannath, especially the Dashavatar Stotra. The Dashavatar Stotra is especially what they sing in front of Jagannath every day in the morning.
So every day they sing the different section, or every day is the same section they sing in front of Jagannath?
They sing the Dashavatar Stotra. That's what they sing in front of Jagannath.
Jagannath Ji. Oh, okay.
And they also sing I think it's number 4 of Gita Govinda, which is Chandana Charchita, Neela Kalevara, Pita Banamali. They sing this particular one also for Lord Jagannath from the Gita Govinda. Gita Govinda is basically an array of songs that has been written by Srila Jayadev Goswami. So this number 4 one, this Chandana Charchita, is also sung in front of Lord Jagannath.
Okay, and the shouter and the number 4 one.
Yes.
Okay, Mataji. Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna. And thank you so much for this wonderful class, Mataji. That was so nice. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So there is a question from Radha Vinodini Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for the wonderful discourse. I have a question relating to one of your previous lectures. You told us that the association of devotees is really important. Although Lord Nityananda gave the love of God to Madhai, after hitting him with the earthen pot, Madhai had promised Lord Mahaprabhu not to commit these offenses again. Even if we treat devotees kindly, devotees may treat us harshly for or speak hurtful words to us for no apparent reason and take our kindness for granted. Although you said this may be a result of our karma, but exalted devotees are supposed to be an ocean of mercy and are friendly to all living beings. I know I'm a fallen soul and I'm grateful for the association of devotees and try not to judge them, but how can we reciprocate with these devotees who always have this mentality to offend, be unkind, and deceitful with other devotees? That's a very, very practical question. Thank you for pouring your heart out in this way. This does affect our spiritual life. And Srila Rupa Goswami has said that we must associate with like-minded devotees, which means that, yes, we respect all devotees, we respect them, but then we may not intimately associate with them. We may not reveal our minds to them, hearts to them. But yes, we do respect all of them. We can respect them from a distance. And so maybe if someone is doing like this, we can try to not associate with them, intimately. We just pay obeisances in our minds and then go. But in general, we should understand, we should always look for good in that particular devotee as well. We can choose not to associate with them, but still we should look. They are, if not anything, they are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. That one quality just overpowers all the other bad qualities. We don't want to get affected, but we still should not disrespect them. We should not disassociate by disrespecting. We can disassociate respectfully, maybe speak to some of the senior devotees and share our minds. But we should always look for good qualities in them as well. This will help us forgive them and keep our heart clean. And we should chant for their spiritual progress. This will definitely help them, help us as well. Krishna will be very pleased if we do that. And thirdly, yes, as you said that you are grateful for the association. You should continue doing that. You say that I am. It may be the result of my karma, and I'm a fallen soul. We should continue to meditate on that. That will help us helplessly take surrender, take shelter of Krishna. We should try to also meditate in different ways. How I'm fallen simultaneously, therefore I'm grateful. Don't just think, oh, I'm so fallen, I'm so this, and then we become just very much depressed. No, just I'm fallen, but Krishna is so merciful, still he gave me this. Srila Prabhupada said, this devotee should have spite on me. Prabhupada would say spite, meaning spit on me. But he's saying Haribol. He is, in fact, one thing is if Vaishnavas glorify or Vaishnavas scold, chastise. In both cases, Krishna sees, oh, who's this person who my devotee is glorifying? Who's this person who my devotee is chastising? And we come under Krishna's eyes. But if a devotee neglects us, that is the worst situation. So we should consider ourselves fortunate, but that does not mean if it is becoming an abuse or anything of that sort, then we should protect ourselves, but respectfully, because then we will also get into the same aparadh cycle that they have come into.
So if I may also add something, you see, Vaishnava relationships are very different than normal karmi relationships. You see, because even in karmi relationships, there is the presence of Krishna, but they do not recognize that. But as devotees, we are expected to recognize the presence of Krishna. We are expected to recognize the third partner in the relationship. Like, say, for example, there's a disagreement between devotee A and devotee B. A devotee B says nonsense and criticizes and this and that so much to devotee A. But if devotee A does not reciprocate, does not retaliate to that devotee back, then Krishna is watching. And when we don't, devotee A does not react, then Krishna is saying, oh, my devotee is not reacting, then it's time for me to intervene. Like in Draupadi's case, till the time that Draupadi was going to her husband, she was going to Bhishma Pitama, Krishna was not interfering. He didn't come in between at all. But as soon as Draupadi came to Krishna, he immediately came. Instantly he came. So that is what we have to see, that when someone is offending us, when someone is criticizing us, we do not, Prabhupada would say, if the dog comes and passes stool at you, will you pass stool back at the dog? No, we don't do that. We recognize the presence of Krishna, that Krishna, you have given this to us. I deserve worse than this, no problem. But I will definitely stay away from that devotee. But as Prabhu said, we will respect that devotee. But we will stay away and we will wait for Krishna to take his action. Be it in relation to, correcting that devotee, be it in relation to giving me spiritual advancement. But if we don't react, Krishna acts. And Krishna will give justice. That is a guarantee. That is definitely a guarantee. So this is something that we definitely need to understand, that when we are trying to, take things under our control and react, then, Krishna stays away. But if we do not react, then Krishna acts. But for us to feel good during that time, because when devotees criticize, when devotees offend, it is definitely hurting, no doubt about it. And as Prabhu said, we must reveal our mind in confidence to one person. Don't go telling about it to everyone in the world. Just confidentially to our Shiksha Gurus, we can reveal, and we can seek guidance from them how to cope up with that situation. So we hope that this answers your question. Garima has a
There is
question.
one question here. Maybe we can take after Garima.
After Garima, we
Okay.
can take?
Yeah, sure.
Garima Krishna? Yes. Hari bol, Garima.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Dhanva
Navadvipa
Pranam,
Dham.
and Gurudev. I wanted to ask, this is from Bhagavatam, that taking deer skin and removing from the body of the deer, and then the sages wearing the deer's the skin. So like I don't understand why they're putting deer skin.
Why are they wearing deer skin? Yes. It's not that they would kill the deer and they would take the skin. They would not do that. When the deer is old, when the deer, leaves their body on their own way, then they would take the skin. Because you see, in those olden days, the men would, the people would stay in the forest, they would stay in the forest. So they won't get any Walmart there, any Target there where they can go and buy clothes, no? So therefore they have to either, wear, that's why they wear tree bark, they wear, deer skin. So which they, after the deer, they leave their body, they just they clean the skin and they cover their body with that. Because in the cold, the deer skin also is helpful to keep them warm. There's no sweaters, no jackets. So that helps them. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vita.
There's a question by Santoshi Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful session again. I have a question. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, as he's the incarnation of Brihaspati and he knew the Lord will come in golden avatar, then why he didn't understand first Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Lord Krishna himself, until Lord appeared on his four-handed form to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in his dream. So yesterday we went to the Praud Maya temple, which is none other than Yogamaya. Yogamaya does the work of covering the devotee into illusion so that they don't understand that Lord Chaitanya or Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they either love them as a result or they further the mission of the Lord. So we see the same with Arjuna. You can ask the same question about Arjuna. Arjuna was a friend of Krishna. Why Arjuna did not know he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Because Krishna covered Arjuna into that illusion. Why Arjuna was talking about body, soul, all these, he's talking about the body, about not fighting, because Krishna covered Arjuna into a Yogamaya illusion so that Krishna can give the instructions of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna and through Arjuna to all of us. Bhagavad Gita can be revealed. Similarly, you can ask the same question about Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit had the darshan of Krishna in the womb. And then why did he do this act of putting a snake around a sage? And even if the son of the sage cursed him, why did Maharaj Parikshit not retaliate? All of this is happening by the Yogamaya, within the Yogamaya, not Mahamaya, Yogamaya of Krishna, to further the plan. If Maharaj Parikshit wouldn't have done that, Srimad Bhagavatam wouldn't have appeared. Similarly, to reveal the glories, first he does to reveal the glories of that devotee, and to reveal something through that devotee to the rest of the world. Arjuna, he did that. Maharaj Parikshit, he did that. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he did that. He covered him and in Yogamaya so that he becomes Mayavadi in one sense. And then when he showed his 800 form, this is how he can Shadbhuj Mahaprabhu, 600 form to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. We wouldn't have had the darshan of 600 form. We wouldn't have known that whoever is Lord Chaitanya is the same as Krishna, is the same as Lord Ramachandra. By that Shadbhuj Mahaprabhu, he proved through Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So he was used as an instrument to show. Similarly, Bhishma Dev, he was used as an instrument. Bhishma Dev knew Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But why did he fight against Krishna? Because Krishna wanted to use him as an instrument to show to the rest of the world, if you are against, in the side against Krishna or against Dharma, you will perish, even if someone is a great general or something like that. And Bhishma was willing to be used as an instrument. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was used as an instrument by covering him in Yogamaya potency. And then through him, Shadbhuj Mahaprabhu was revealed. And all the Mayavadis, it was an example for all the Mayavadis. He was the leader, he was the guru of the Mayavadis at that time in Jagannath Puri and so many places. And if that guru of Mayavadis is transformed, all the other Mayavadis would be like, yeah, we should become Vaishnavas too. So through him, through Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he wanted to execute many purposes. First, he made Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to get all the Mayavadis to follow him. And then he converted, transformed Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and all of them through him. So I hope that answers your question.
Hari Bol. Anjuji, you have a question? Anjali, you have a question?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for divine parikrama and your priceless time. Really grateful, deep gratitude. Actually, I had heard you. This is not related for today. I had heard you glorifying your Guru Maharaj. And from that day, I wanted to ask you one question. Like you had said that in your life, you have never asked any question. You just asked one question, that when will I go and meet, like, when I go back to Godhead and I will meet Prabhu, will I see him? So I just wanted to ask you, why didn't you, never you wanted, what was the reason that you never asked any question to your Guru Maharaj? I was very...
Thank you for asking that question. Yes, I have never asked, actually not just my Guru Maharaj, I have not asked anyone any other questions, because I just felt, I'm saying that it's just personal to me, because, asking questions is actually a wonderful thing. Because when we ask questions, we actually help not only ourselves, but we help others also, who may have such similar questions. But somehow or the other, I was never having this desire to have any questions, because I just felt that all my questions are answered, just by doing the service and just by listening to the Guru Vargas. I just felt everything was answered, and I didn't feel the need to ask any questions. So I really didn't feel the need. Till today, I've not asked questions to anyone.
So you were just like deep devotee and true devotee, and you just I think so.
No. That is just very superficial. Because Arjuna is the best devotee of the Bhagavad Gita. He asked so many questions. Asking questions is actually, as I said, it is a very, very important thing, you know, because we ask questions for not only for ourselves, but for others as well. So, I mean, I didn't do it because, you know, I'm just very superficial, I guess. So that's why.
Awami, you are everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anjali. Thank you so much. And thank you for the beautiful darshan behind you. Jai Shri Radha Shri.
Yes, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Bhagavad is
Thank
going
you.
very, very nice, and we are very blessed to
Wonderful.
have it in Purushottam.
Wonderful.
Acharya ji is doing, we are doing very wonderful. Thank you for
Wonderful.
so much. Thank
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Krishna Sharanam Prabhu is asking, Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Mataji, Dhanvat Pranams, very grateful for wonderful association of service. We are too. Really sonitarian. I have one question. The names of the Dvipas are related to the Leelas of Mahaprabhu and Lord Krishna. Is there any relation to the Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc., to the island names? Well, like Ritudvipa is like Bhadravan, and Jahnudvipa is, different ones, but I don't think they're related to each other, but not necessarily to Shravanam Kirtanam. Well, if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A equal to C. So, which means if some of the Vrajadham's forests are related to Navadvipa Dham, and Navadvipa Dham Dvipa are related to these different 9 processes of devotional service, then they are related. But it's not one-on-one, because there are 9 Dvipas, but there are several more forests of in Vrindavan. There are Vrajadham. There are 12 forests of Vrajadham and 9. So it's not one-to-one correlation. But yes, wherever Lord Chaitanya remembered Krishna's pastime specific to that one, that's what it becomes.
Haribo. So we have Vaishali Patel Mataji. Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Yes.
Koti Koti Dandvat Pranam Mataji, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Vidyanagar is my native place, but I don't know that about the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and you explained so nicely Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Jhanva and Ganga Maya, Jhanva Devi, and you also explained about Champaklata Saki. Take us in the step by step all the dham. Thank you very much. Koti Koti Dandvat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Yesterday when you sing the bhajan, Mataji literally crying, and my daughter also becomes so involved in that leela. So this is the benefit that all when we are hearing because of your eyes we enter in Siddham, Mayapur Dham, our all family member also enter in Dham. This is the special mercy. That is some last birth karma. Mataji, can you please sing 2 line of Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana. Thank you, Mataji. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you so much. And we are very thankful to Kalanidhi Prabhu and Shama Vallabhi Mataji for your beautiful comment. Thank you so very much. Flavia, thank you so much for your beautiful comment. I would like to ask, what other classes may you have coming up? Yes, so we will be finishing the Navadvipa Mandal Parikrama in the next 2 days, and 2 to 3 days we'll finish the Navadvipa Mandal Parikrama completed, and then right after that we are going to go to Jagannath Puri, the land of Lord Jagannath, and we will see the main places of pastime places of Lord Jagannath, and understand some of the glories of those places, just like we did with Navadvipa. We'll do the same way with Jagannath Puri, and then we will go to the Himalayas, to Badrinath. So these are the 3 things we have planned for this month. And then after that, when Kartik comes,
before Kartik,
before Kartik,
between when this Purushottam month ends and Kartik starts. Before that is 9 to 10 days. That's when we will discuss Upadeshamrita, the nectar of instruction written by Srila Rupa Goswami, one of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then after that, when Kartik comes,
that time we will do Brajamandal Parikrama. We'll go to Vrindavan.
Jai
We will do,
Ho!
virtual Parikrama of all the places of Sri Vrajadham, 12 forests of Vrindavan. And each day we will walk around. That time, we will walk at least 25, 30 kilometers every day. So we have to cover 84 kroshas. Navadvipa Dham is only 16 kroshas. So Rajamandal is 84 kroshas. It's a lot more walking, a lot more places to visit, and we'll have really, really wonderful, wonderful association during this time. So we hope
Sridham
that you will.
Vrindavan Dham ki jai.
So we hope that we answered your question, Flavia. Thank you again.
Yes,
Hare
thank you,
Krishna,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you,
Pranam.
Prabhuji. Haribo.
Thank you, Flavia. Thank you.
thank you. Prema Bhakti Lata Mataji is saying, I have a question from yesterday's class. In Koladvip, Lord Varahadev gave darshan to a Brahmana. Has he appeared in Chaitanya Leela? If so, what was the Brahmana's name? Just like Swarna Sena appeared as Buddhimanta Khan, Suvarna Sena. And please clarify.
The one Vasudev was the Brahmana who got darshan of Lord Varahadev in Koladvipa. It is not mentioned in the Navadvipa Bhavataranga that what he appeared as in Chaitanya Leela. We tried to look for it in different places, but we couldn't find it, that what that Brahmana appeared as in Gaura Leela.
But he was in Gaura in the same time as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Oh, Varahadev.
So we don't know that exactly. So sorry for that. If we find any reference, we will definitely refer it back to you. We have a question from Ditya Keshavi.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Obeisances. Mataji, I have a question. We have heard the pastime of Gauranga, and we understand that Gauranga is none other than Krishna. But when we actually go out for preaching, we still try to talk about Krishna's pastimes, Vrindavan pastimes. How come, just trying to understand, why don't we have so much faith in Gauranga and try to just give Gauranga to the whole world? I mean, is it because that people are not familiar? Is the reason why we try to restrict ourselves? Just trying to understand why we are not able to, completely depend on Gauranga to give Gauranga rather than just use Krishna as a medium to preach.
You see, Lord Chaitanya, Krishna, he said, Prabhupada said, the Bhagavad Gita is school level. Srimad Bhagavatam is university level. And Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya, is PhD, postgraduate level. So Lord Chaitanya is very, very special. And he's very, very special. And in fact, if we are not utilizing, because what Mahaprabhu has predicted, Prithivite ache joto nagar adigram, sarbatra prachar hoibe mor naam. Mahaprabhu has said, in every town and village of the world, my name will be chanted. So if we are not, saying it like this, then we must say like this. Because unless we take the name of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, because before chanting Hare Krishna, what do we chant? What do we chant? We chant Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. By taking their blessings, we can approach the Hare Krishna mantra. So if we are not doing it in our preaching, we must include Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is the one who is the ambassador of the spiritual world. Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago from Goloka Vrindavan. If Mahaprabhu wouldn't have come, we wouldn't know the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Jodi gaur na hoito tabe ki hoito. How would we know about Radha and Krishna if Mahaprabhu would not have come? And Mahaprabhu, when he came, he actually left the doors of Goloka Vrindavan open behind him. So that access is given by Mahaprabhu. We should never forget that. So if we are not speaking much about Gauranga Mahaprabhu, we should start. It's never too late. So we should start speaking about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his mercy. Our Guru Vargas, they tell us that only by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can we actually speak about Radha and Krishna. Without their mercy, we can't even chant the Hare Krishna mantra. What to speak about their pastimes? We can't even, chant Hare Krishna without Mahaprabhu's mercy. So we hope that answers your question, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Just we are actually starting 2 outreach programs here in Hyderabad with Gaura Katha pastime.
Wonderful.
All these
Wonderful.
Vaishali pastimes. So please bless that this outreach program reaches the heart of the listeners. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Yes, Kirti.
Hare Krishna, Mataji and Prabhuji. I have 2 questions, Mataji and Prabhuji. My first question is, so everyone is chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So except for chanting Hare Krishna, which is basically Radharani and Krishna, why can't we chant Gauranga except chanting Hare Krishna, because Hare Krishna is Radharani and Krishna, and Gauranga Mahaprabhu is Radharani and Krishna. So why can't we chant Gauranga except Hare Krishna?
Well, we can chant, definitely. There is no stoppage to chanting Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. And there are so many glories of chanting the holy name of Sri Gauranga. However, when we ask Gauranga what we should do, he says, chant Hare Krishna. So if we are really devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we will not just be sentimental, we will actually follow his instructions. If Gauranga Mahaprabhu would have said, chant my name Gauranga, we would have done that. But he is specifically asking us to chant. We are devotees of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So as he says to chant the Hare Krishna mantra, we are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. But we are, while remembering Gauranga Mahaprabhu, while remembering our Guru Maharajas, while remembering Srila Prabhupada, when we are chanting Hare Krishna, doesn't mean we are only focusing on Radha and Krishna. No, no. It is all parampara is there. Because of their mercy, we are able to approach. Otherwise, what is our qualification to even approach the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? It is because of the petition that is made by Srila Prabhupada on our behalf, by our Guru Vargas, that we are able to even approach the Hare Krishna mantra. So we should realize that. We should pray to Hare Krishna mantra that I'm really not qualified to chant, take your names, but my Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, they have, asked me to do this, and they have opened this door. By their mercy, I'm coming back to you. So in that way, if we chant, that will be good. And but we can still chant Gauranga's name. That's not there, but not as a replacement of the Hare Krishna mantra. We should chant 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna mantra, and whenever possible, chant Gauranga.
Okay. What's
Gauranga,
your second question?
Not just Gauranga, Nityananda also. Gauranga, Nityananda. Gauranga, Nityananda.
Thank you, Prabhu. My second question is, so I think today when we were speaking, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was missing some of his Gopa friends.
Yes.
And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always like in the mood of Radharani. He misses Jagannath, and my question is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is basically the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if he wants his Gopa friends to come there, he can make his Gopa friends to come there because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So
Yeah.
anything, he can basically think about it and it'll happen because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But why is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not using that?
How do you know whether he's using it or not? He would cry, and then Sridham, Sudama, everyone would come running to meet with Mahaprabhu, and he would just cry, seeing them more and more. And Lord Chaitanya would not just remember the Gopas, he would remember the Gopis, he would remember Lalita, he would remember Vishakha, and all of them actually have come as the associates of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. They joined him in his Leela, all of them. Okay?
Thank you, Mataji.
Haribol, thank you.
Zoom Purushottam house programs.
Some new members had joined. Kindly request to share link also. Sure. Can you please send us a WhatsApp message? Shri Krishna Pranam. No. Oh, sorry. This is Anjuji, I think. So, okay. Please send us a WhatsApp message and we'll definitely respond to that. Parameshwari.
This is Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanam Astu.
Yeah, I think this is Anjali. Anyways, Hare Krishna, yesterday in Koladvip, you have explained the meaning of the word Kola, but I couldn't get that point. If you could mention that again for me. Kola means, a boar. Like Varahadev, he is called as Kola. Means, in Bengali, one of the meanings of the word, for the word boar is for the word boar is Kola. So that's why this place is called as Koladvipa. Okay. Before we take any more questions, we'll just honor Vrinda Gopika Mataji's request also. Should we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopi Natha Mata Namo Haribol. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hari Hari Gauranga.
Prema Bhakti Lata Mataji, how can I develop a taste for chanting? Most of the time I feel very mechanical and a sense of duty to complete the prescribed rounds. Please help. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, just cry. We have to weep. To get the taste of chanting the holy name, we have to cry and beg Krishna for that taste. With every chant that we chant, we can beg, O Krishna, O Radhe, O Ram, Balaram, Shri Radharaman, please, I beg you, please attract my mind so I can attentively absorb myself in hearing and chanting your name, form, qualities, and pastime, and get the taste for absorbing myself. So we have to pray to Krishna to attract us. We have to pray to Radharani to give us the service attitude so we can please the devotees and Krishna that will attract us to the holy name. And we have to pray to Lord Balaram to please give us the strength. So yeah, it's mechanical, but as soon as you realize it's mechanical, then you start crying and weeping and chanting in that way. What's very important is that we should feel whatever little we should feel. Now we can feel love, but we may not be at that platform to feel love, but we can feel helpless. So we should prepare our mind to feel helpless while chanting, to feel the prayer. that I'm really helpless, and have that feeling there is nothing else which can save me in these 14 worlds. No one else, nothing else. Not my bank account, not my family, not anyone, only Krishna. Krishnaika Sharanam. And when we have that feeling of helplessness, suddenly we'll see that we are in the middle of an ocean, there's nothing else, and now we'll grab Krishna's lotus feet. Then with that feeling, when we get these feelings of helplessness, of begging to the holy name, then we can get the taste. Then our mechanical will go away. Try to feel rather than, of course, we should finish our rounds, but try to feel. Then you will be absorbed. If you, just like when we go for a movie, in a movie we become so absorbed. Everyone's like, their mouths are open and they just, why are we absorbed? Because that movie is churning our emotions, and suddenly we don't know how 3 hours went away, because they're tapping into our emotions. That's what, if we have to be absorbed in chanting, we have to tap into our emotions and feelings. If we are not feeling, then it'll just be mechanical. So maybe we may not feel extreme love, but we can feel gratefulness, which is a symptom of love. We can feel helpless. As a result of being helpless, we can feel grateful that Krishna, you have at least, I'm in the middle of the ocean, but you are giving me something to hold on to. I'm grateful to you for that. Have that feeling, not that you're thinking these words. Thoughts are different than feelings. Convert those thoughts into feelings, and then when you chant, you'll become absorbed in chanting. You will see that. So let's try to cultivate that mood. That's what people say. Cultivate the mood of chanting is the feeling. Chant feelingly, and then you'll be absorbed. Then it'll not seem mechanical. Also, if you cannot feel, then Prabhupada has said, act as if you're feeling. If you would have felt, how would you have acted while chanting? You would have cried, Krishna, please, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So why don't you act that way? And you will see the feeling may come out. But yes, feeling is important.
What a wonderful answer. We hope that helps, Mataji. Any other questions? Otherwise, we can end our session here today.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dhanwad Pranam. All praise to Srila Prabhupada. All praise to Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji and Prabhuji. I have a question. I have a question. I have heard in one of the speaker, Mataji, she was explaining the whole song of Govind from Geet Govinda. I don't remember the song. The Govind Damodar Madhaveti. So, is it okay if we sing to our Jagannath and put them to sleep, or no?
I think it's okay.
Reason why I'm asking, because at the same time, I've also heard that as aspiring devotees, we do not sing or touch Geet Govinda. So I don't know, but at the same time, I have seen Dashavatar children love to sing and learn. So I don't know what part of Geet Govinda should be touched and not, and is it okay to sing?
It is especially because Gita Govinda has very high pastimes. And if we are still in the bodily level of consciousness, we still have not realized I'm the soul, I'm not this body, I'm the servant of Krishna, then there is a chance our minds may take us to misinterpret those songs, where those intimate pastimes are revealed. Even this Pada Pallavam Dehi Udaram, Dehi Pada Pallavam Udaram, Krishna touching the lotus feet of Radharani, we may get bewildered. What is this going on? I thought Krishna is supreme. What, Radharani, what is going on? And so we may not be at that level. So that's why it is said there are so many other songs Vaishnava songs, which we can realize at our level, why not we do that? If there is no other song available, yeah, Gita Govinda we can do, but there are so many other songs, and the simplest is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And Krishna is very pleased with that. So we can put them to rest by chanting Hare Krishna. We can wake them up by chanting Hare Krishna. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Gatiranyatha. All the other mantras are included in this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So let's just try to follow what the acharyas say. They're saying for our benefit. And otherwise, there is a chance that we may go astray. There's nothing wrong, but we may misinterpret, and then we may lose our tender faith.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
All right. With this, we would end today. Thank you so much for your association. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji and Mataji. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.